next time you meet me in Gate City. Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Our friend is Cody and we not having a good day.
Smack dab in the middle of all that. That was beautifully said. And I love that you said when you have a microphone in hand. And we were able to do it.
It's about just showing up.
What up, world? Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Cody Central. Welcome back, welcome home, or welcome for the first time. If it is your first time, every night here is a little bit different. We're going to have ourselves a wild night nevertheless. So thanks for sharing your time with us, and let's lock in. I am your host, and this is my co-host, Danny Dimes.
What's up, everybody? As always, if you tuned in on YouTube, thank you, and please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment to let us know where you're watching from. And don't be afraid to turn on notifications if you don't want to miss any of our uploads. If you're watching on Facebook live streams, thank you as well. And please share this live stream to your page right now or share to some friends. And either way, drop a comment to let us know where you're tuning in from as well.
Before we get things started, I just announced some new dates and I have some more on the way. But right now, you can check me out February 7th at the Backstreet Bar in Hudson, New Hampshire. I'm going to be doing a featured set during an all-day marathon fundraiser for the Vine Street Studios and Ash Street apartment fires that displaced dozens of people recently. This is going to also be my first set of 2026. I'm going to be performing alongside some great punk, hip-hop, alternative, metal, and indie rock bands. So there's going to be flavor for everyone, and you're supporting a great cause. So that's February 7th at Backstreet Bar in Hudson, New Hampshire. And I'm going to be at March 29th at the Shaskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'll be at the Shaskeen Pub on Sunday, March 29th for New Hampshire's longest-running hip-hop residency, Rap Night Manchester, hosted by DJ Myth, I9, and Sean Caliber. I am working on trying to lock in some other gigs for the year, including Vermont, Maine, Rhode Island, Mass, Connecticut, and others. I'm going to be hopefully doing plenty of travel dates as well. So if you are in North America and you're interested in setting up a show, there's a contact form. You can reach me directly at www.cody-pope.com, and I will get back to you via email. Also, huge thanks to everybody that checked out the visual for my song Moonlight. You can find that here on YouTube as well as throughout social media. That was shot by my co-host Danny Dimes during the Hellhound for the Holidays 25 toy drive this past December. This March is actually the 5-year anniversary of my album The Howling Man, which is where that's from. It's crazy how fast the time went. We're definitely going to have to do something cool to celebrate. I've been thinking back and forth about if we should do something here on stream. If that's something you guys think would be cool, let me know in the comments, and we'll see if we can do some sort of Howling Man party, kind of like when we did Howling Day the first time. To get tickets, more info on shows, booking inquiries, music videos, merch, anything like that you could possibly want, just head over to www.cody-pope.com. Everything lives over there. You can find everything, and you will be able to keep up on that.
Then I stopped too late. How could I be so selfish? Do this lost under the state like inventory of dead ends. I miss whom I can't memories of my dead friends. It's my soul on the record, like removing the mask. Brain connected, feel electric, intermeshing spacecrafts. Then I opened up and I looked again, saw the sound like it's the base of my friends. Lost some gems, I'm bound to lose some more. You got the prescription, you got me convinced. There's a lot you've been missing since I built this lot that you slipped and hate. This got me crawling. Not perfect, not even close to all right. If you're with me, let me hear you say all right. I'm all about my name, yo.
All right, guys. Shout out to everybody that's here. Apologies to our Facebook stream. It looks like the Facebook stream crashed, so I'll try and diagnose that. But for now, tell your friends, hop on YouTube and come check out the YouTube stream. It is live and kicking. Shout out to everybody in the comments. We got Ryan, we got Jen. Appreciate everybody popping in here. Much love. All right, so right after this message, we're going to bring our guest in, and we got a wild show for you guys.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is go to hellhoundpublishing.com. Go to the menu, go find Cody Central, our show. Then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to see a bunch of different donation options. Each one will have some really cool stuff that you get. Go to checkout, tell me what you want me to promote, cash out, simple as that.
And we're back. So check it out. Tonight's guest is an immensely talented and regionally, if not nationally and globally renowned multi-hyphenate musician, producer. He's probably best known for musical contributions to bands such as Roots of Creation, Fox and the Flamingos, Cosmic Blossom, RGB Trio, and many more. And he puts out a ton of work under the moniker Percussive Maintenance. Please welcome tonight's guest, Gary Smith.
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, thank you so much for making time to rock with us. Appreciate having you here, man.
Hell yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I feel like while you have such a prolific background and a prolific catalog of work, a lot of people here might be just discovering you for the first time. So I briefly want to use this first chapter to kind of go backwards. And so seeing that as music is such a predominant part of your lifestyle, what age was it when you first got into like learning and actually like practicing an instrument and like learning music to that degree?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably back in like 5th grade. I picked up trombone because my mom's boyfriend at the time played trombone, and he had gone to Boston Conservatory, so he was kind of like a musical, the leading me where I went. And then I did that for a couple of years, and then I picked up bass because all my friends were playing guitar in like 7th grade. So I'm like, oh, I got to play bass. And then I realized I could read music on bass because I could play trombone, and they're on the same like clef. So I just started playing jazz in my 7th grade jazz band with my my teacher got me in, Anthony Coronis, who still teaches at Nashville High School. He's still the music teacher. He's the man. Him and my stepdad were kind of the genesis of everything. He's like, oh, you play bass? Let's play some jazz. And then he was a junior high school teacher for 3 years, and then my junior year of high school, he moved to the high school. So like he was with me for 5 of my 6 like formative music years because he happened to hop schools at the time that I was there. So he was a big thing, and that's kind of what got me into jazz over the years. I probably formed my first band in like 9th grade, and then I started playing jazz out in like 11th grade. I played like Nashville Country Club, like little things like that when I was a kid, but they liked seeing, kids playing jazz, and they could obviously pay us a lot less than adults playing jazz.
Dude, that's so wild, right? I don't want to. I've probably told this story before, but I have very limited musicianship. But I got started when I was like 15. My friends were in a hardcore band, and they asked me to be in their band, and I was like, I don't like know how to play guitar like that. And they were like, we'll teach you. Like, I had an acoustic guitar, so I would like go to my homie's house after school, and he would like teach me how to play the power chords to all their, it was real challenging fucking 4 power chord songs.
Yeah.
And when I was so I must have been in like 10th grade, and one of my classes was guitar with Mr. Coronis.
Oh, that's awesome.
And because I joined this band, and they like were playing shows like a lot for like people that were like 15 or whatever. And
Yeah.
there was like a guy who was like in his 20s that was like the singer. So he was like connected to like the scene. So it was like we'd play like Falmouth, Maine on a Wednesday night, and it's like my buddy's mom would be driving us in her Pathfinder, like that kind of shit. But moral of that story is that I was in Mr. Coronis's class, and so I kind of told him, I was like, dude, I'm like playing in this band, and we like are actually like doing gigs, but I like need to practice. And so he was like, dude, if you can pass your tests, you can use they had like the high school had like the little practice rooms that you could go into.
Yep.
And so I could just go in there with my acoustic guitar and like practice songs for this band as long as I could like run through the tests in his office. And that like helped me out so much because that was like the formative path to me,
Yeah.
like knowing that I was gonna like do music all the time. And
Yeah.
so the fact that you said his name just like blew my mind, and I had to like segue that little bit there. But
No, there's so many little connections. We played. I played bass with a blues band at the Tupelo last week, and the band we opened for, their drummer like teaches at Nashua. So he's like, "Oh, I work with Anthony Coronis," and so we started talking. He sent him a selfie of the two of us together. I'm like, "That's hilarious."
that's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. So getting into music that young and like playing in bands and stuff like that, obviously like you said, we do it a long time because it's the thing that we love doing. But do you remember like the age or even like the moment that you kind of knew like if I get the opportunity, I'm doing this full time. Like this is what I want to do with my life. Like if I could play music every day, like that's what I want to do. Like, was there something that kind of hit you that made you feel that way, or was it this like slow progressive evolution?
I don't know if there was a like particular moment per se that made me think that I really wanted to go to music. It was just kind of a general progressive thing that I was, the happiest and like I was enjoying myself the most playing music in high school, and that was my focus. I did great in school, so like I had good enough grades, but like all I did was just so I could play music. Like I was decent in some sports, but I didn't want them to interfere with music, so I just made that the focus. And again, my parents were pretty helpful, so like I was playing a lot at a young age, so it just kind of was a natural thing. And my parents owned a music store, and then they did they did a lot of like kid music for like little like the teddy bear picnic, things like that, like the little like parade, the duck parade that Nashua does, things like that. So I would just be playing again out at a very young age, so it was comfortable. And then I got to get some cool opportunities over the years. Like I did the UNH Summer Youth Music School, which was always a great time. That was when I met one of my other teachers, Dave Newsom, guitarist, Berkeley guitar teacher. And like that was, you get to see all these amazing people like at a very young age, like see Clark Terry, who played like in Count Basie's band, like all these like crazy musicians that UNH brought and kind of let us experience their wisdom and their experiences. So again, being around that and then just playing with some great musicians at a young age, like Nashua in Southern New Hampshire. I mean, I graduated 2001, and there's a lot of great musicians in that era that are still playing out all the time, still teaching, at local colleges. And so I mean, it's funny, like a lot of people who play jazz of all age, like people in my age group, there was something in the water or the extra Tylenol or something. We were all a little extra spicy. It was fun.
Dude, I love that. That's fucking awesome. All right, so I'm gonna jump a little bit because I don't want to like dwell too much on the past, but in listening to your so in listening to your Matt Connerton interview, you mentioned taking a nearly 17-year hiatus
Yep.
after your child was born from doing like gigging full time.
Right.
But before that, you had been kind of like gigging as often as you could, and really kind of like putting the hammer to the nail.
I
So
wasn't
as
doing
a
as much
musician myself,
then. Yeah, I tapered off, but then I ramped back up. Yeah. But go ahead. Yeah,
so
sorry.
no, that's kind of exactly like what I wanted to ask was like, um, did life feel different to you when you did that? Like, was it a drastic feeling when you pulled back on performing? Were you like, did it challenge you at all, or were you so occupied with family and like other interests and work and things like that that it kind of kept you from feeling like there was like a big loss there?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely always something that was missing because music had been a big part of everything, but I kind of did just jump into the shit. Oh, yeah, okay. I did kind of just jump into the family thing, like, with both feet. And then, I mean, I still had my guitar around, was still playing that. But then, to keep myself occupied, I got into like mountain biking a lot. I was doing downhill mountain biking. And then I got into car racing. So I kind of, all that stuff did kind of keep me occupied. But it definitely, like when I did even just get together and jam with my friends, like it was definitely a great like feeling. And like, you know what you miss. And then, yeah, when I ended up playing with some of my sister's friends, and then COVID happened. I got a divorce, so that's when I kind of really said, what's going to make me happy. So, I jumped back in with music, and I was in one band in 2020, and then I joined Fox and Flamingos right after that, and then so now I'm playing with everyone and anyone I can.
Yeah, and so that's what's really like inspiring, and that's why I wanted to mention that, because I think that there's a lot of creatives that like see the show that have been trying to do something for a long time. Maybe they're in their late 20s, their 30s, their 40s, whatever the case may be. And so you had been performing and like establishing a good name for yourself. You pulled back on your frequency a lot so that you could focus on your priorities, and then after taking like quite a long break to do the things that you needed to do, you have come back, and not only like do you perform, but correct me if I'm wrong, in 2025 you did about 200 gigs, was that right?
Yeah, I had a little bit over 200 total gigs. And no, I set out a goal at the beginning of the year was to do 200, but the trajectory, I had done like 40 something in 2023, 140 in 2024, and then I wanted to do 200 last year, and I got it was like 210 in terms of total performances.
That's remarkable. That's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that like makes me realize that people have so much to learn and share from each other. So my next question is that now that you're at a point in life where you probably do more gigs than most musicians in your network or even in our region for that matter. When you were getting your career back in stride, if you would say, what did you do to find contacts and lock in so many gigs, especially as a solo artist as well as a contributor to groups?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was, again, I was a car salesman, car sales manager type thing before, so that was always about like networking. I wasn't like the jump you when you walked in the door. Like I had my friends telling their friends because we were all in the car world to come buy cars for me. So it wasn't like I was like I was known for being a good car salesman, and so I could kind of good networker too. So really, that was what it was. Like I'd show up to an open mic, like the Strange Brew open mics. I went to a few of those. I've got dozens of gigs just from random people that I've met at the Strange Brew open mics in Manchester, and then just making friends with people, playing with them. Say, hey, where are you playing? Said, you have a contact you want to share with me? I got a contact for this place. Maybe you can get a gig there. And then a lot of times I'll invite friends to come play at my show. And then especially we were talking about PCL, like a lot of the people who play there because they've come for my jams or come for my jazz things, and they meet the owner and they're like, oh, cool, you should play here. So like it's not a competition. Like a lot of people kind of treat it like it is, and some of the, like the way some of the different groups and booking agencies are organized is that they kind of try and play people against each other and venues against each other, where we're all in it together. Like just let your if you should be playing there and your abilities are there, then you'll play there. But I mean, yeah, it's a lot of networking, not being a piece of crap, and just like supporting your friends, and and yeah, like it really is just it's never too late if you want to jump in with both feet. Because again, even my friend Sarah Bird from Cosmic Blossom, she same thing. She didn't do music seriously for a while. She left her corporate job. Now she's doing music 4 or 5 times a week. She plays at the Spot, I think, every Monday. Speaking of the Spot, yeah, so like it's really there's if you want to hustle, if you want to work at it, I mean, it's just like anything, you can get there. And it's I mean, a lot of it is because I was so used to not taking no for an answer, so that like if I want to play at a venue and I have some sort of contact there, like a place that I play very often now, I won't dime them, but I love playing there. It's one of my favorite spots to play. It took me 10 emails, probably over 8 months to get there. And then like it was a place I had been going for a while, and I had friends who were regulars there. So I'm like, oh yeah, when you go there, just make sure you mention my name. So like I had to do like some guerrilla marketing to get there. But now I play there, once or twice a month. So it's one of my favorite places to play. And so yeah, I mean, it's really just, again, I'm a car salesman, or a salesman, because even before that I worked like Circuit City and Tweeters. So I just that's kind of it.
Rest in peace, Circuit City and Tweeter. God damn.
I know, right?
It's like a piece of my soul right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was my first job out of high school, was Circuit City in Nashua, right next to right on Daniel Webster.
Yo, how crazy that building! That building was so nuts.
Oh, it was. Oh yeah, yeah. If those walls could talk.
I worked at the Best Buy right next door, so I feel you. Like those places were crazy.
Oh yeah.
Circuit City was like iconic though, because that was definitely there before there was a Best Buy. Because I remember even like as a kid going to Circuit City, that was like the place to get like that and like service merchandise were like the places you could get cool shit from at the time.
Yeah, I started working there, and then they fired everyone who, because Best Buy was crushing them, so they fired everyone who averaged over $20 an hour in commission and kept everyone who averaged under that. So they basically fired all the good salesmen. But Tweeter was waiting like with open doors and hired me that same day. So
that's wild. Dude, one thing I want to ask is now you're in, it's safe to say you're in a lot of bands. That's like an easy way to say it, right?
I'd say that.
Like,
I'm a band ho.
You're in you're in a number of musical projects. Oh, here we go. We got a great question here, or a great comment here. My dad was an appliance repairman. Oh, let me throw this up. My dad was an appliance repairman for Circuit City back when you would fix your washing machine instead of throw it away. Dude, isn't that the truth? Like,
oh yeah.
Wow. I was just talking about, I forget what the context was, but I was just having a conversation about that. Oh, I saw there was a video online. I don't know, it could have been bullshit, but it was about a guy who like hit some insane mileage on his Harley, and Harley like wanted to take that from him so they could like break it down and see how it made it so many miles and give him a new electric glide. And the dude was kind of like, no, I'm good. I'll keep this one, because it's like all the new ones are just built to like end up in a shop months down the road, and it's such a bummer, but it's the truth. Like,
it is, yeah. I mean, those were meant to be the highest mileage car ever was some old Volvo, and then Volvo tried to buy the car back from him, and the guy wanted to keep it, and then he died, and Volvo ended up getting it anyway. But yeah, same thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that was the thing, dude. Appliances were like that. Like, it was like big money to get an appliance, but you would have it for 20, 30 years, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get
now
a
technology
dishwasher,
is so quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys like this is a way throwback. Do you guys remember like Kirby vacuum cleaners?
Yes, dude. Dude, my folks had one. It was
That
crazy.
thing weighed like a ton, but it was like the beast of vacuum cleaners. Like it ran forever.
The drummer in our funk band used to sell Kirby vacuum cleaners. Actually, I still give him crap about that sometimes. Yeah. It'd be the guy showing up. Oh, let me show you all your bug mite or your bed mites and stuff in your bed.
Yo, that's crazy. I have like such a vivid memory of those things, and like it came with like an arsenal of attachments on it too.
Yep.
You'd have to like store them in some broom closet or something.
Made
Yeah,
of
the
like
thing was 60 pounds.
Weighed forever.
Man, what a time to be alive. Holy shit.
That
I
was
didn't even get to the fucking question. Holy shit. So the question I was asking was with being in so many different bands, you know, as we listed off at the top, what are some of the skills that you apply, or what are some of the resources you use to manage your work-life balance between all of those bands and just your life in general?
Yeah, I mean, I try and keep as much of a schedule as I can. It's definitely very loose, but I try and like spend a certain amount of time practicing guitar, a certain amount of time, working on music production and stuff, and try and keep like mixing and creative production separate, like so that I can like separate them mentally. But I mean, in terms of like learning music for bands, I like reading music, so like a lot of times when I want to learn something, I'll just listen to it and then just transcribe it in one of my musical like notation programs. So whether it's just like the chords or like that blues thing I play in the Tupelo, like I just printed out kind of the basic form for the ones that needed it. Ones that had like a particular riff I needed, I would notate that out. So if I needed to use it, and obviously like in high school, that's how my brain works. So like writing it down will make it so I don't have to think about it as much. And then even if I have it in front of me, I might not look at it. But like that's kind of how my process is for learning music. Like when I joined Roots, like I was kind of with those guys for a couple months doing like little local shows just to make sure that I could kind of hang and do musically what they wanted. And I had to learn basically 30 songs over those couple months. So a lot of it was just listening to it, notating it all out, and listening to it a lot, obviously, but like actively listening, saying, oh, I think that goes up to this note instead of the note that I thought it was when I first notated it. So like kind of go doing stuff like that. So that's a lot of how I do it. Some of the bands like Fox and Flamingos I've been with for 4+ years. So like a lot of that stuff is second nature. Like I can play that like, probably while, doing a Sudoku with another hand, but it's like, that stuff is ingrained in my head. And a lot of the jazz songs are too, but like a lot of the jazz, I'm in a couple different jazz groups, and a lot of that is they'll just kind of give us the music ahead of time. And with jazz, it's not against the rules to have some music in front of you. So again, where I can kind of read music as needed. Like if I have the music in front of me, I can do what I need to make it sound good enough. Well, good.
I have a couple here's a good one. Here's a good one, as I say, commenting my own fucking questions. So obviously being in that many bands, you're like a bit of a musical nomad in the sense of you play in a huge variety of places and styles. You'll do elegant ballrooms and upscale rooms, but you'll also do like more down home kind of like bar and lounge type spots. And I feel like you just kind of play the plethora of scopes when you do 200 shows a year. What is one of the biggest disconnects that you see between different music genres that seems to be detrimental to their growth?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think, again, globally, genre non-specific, I mean, again, a lot of negativity in the world that doesn't ever really kind of help someone's growth. And so, you know, certain genres where they're, maybe it's because there's more competition. Like if you're in like a heavy metal band, you know, there's only so many places you can play. Where like if you're playing, you know, Nickelback covers, there's a lot more places you can play. So like that kind of stuff's for I don't play Nickelback covers, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is, you know, like anything, it's ego. You got to keep your ego in check. I mean, really, as much as I love jazz and as much as I love playing jazz, I've long said jazz is kind of a music for musicians. So that's not the most accessible musician, but in the same side, you know, hip hop is music for hip hop fans, really. You know, there's the hip hop that, you know, is played on the radio is not necessarily what hip hop fans want to listen to or what a hip hop artist wants to make. So, not saying there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it's just kind of just the way the market is for those. People would rather go, even again, music that I don't necessarily play, but like the bands that are going to be most successful are the cover bands that are going to go play, you know, the nostalgic 90s songs and, you know, 2000 songs. So it's kind of, I don't say we're all battling that, but that they all have a big chunk. Oh, I should just keep turning. Yeah, they all have a big, you know, chunk in the overall scene. So the rest of us are kind of fighting for that. But yeah, in terms of, yeah, I don't know if there's really anything specific per genre. I mean, again, I just think the best of the best kind of shine through. So whether you're, you know, or not even the best of the best, you know, the top 50%, like if you're a decent rapper, you should be getting some gigs. If you're, and again, you have the right attitude. Like, again, DJ Myth, like we both know him. I've known him for 15 years probably now. Like he gets so many gigs. He's the nicest guy. Like, you know, he's DJ'd for some serious people, and he'll always smile and like he's. I mean, I love his facial expression sometimes. He doesn't have a good poker face, but I mean, again, he's such a nice guy, and he gets, I would say, more gigs than any actual DJ who can, you know, match beats that I know of. There may be more out there, but like he is, you know, pretty well respected. Again, just by being in a genre that doesn't necessarily get a lot of gigs, by being a nice guy, by being a pro, by practicing and, you know, honing his craft. And I mean, I think that shows in his abilities, you
know. This is like kind of a couple quick thought questions. Having played such a wide variety of venues, is there a best green room setup that you've ever seen?
Oh, definitely my favorite one in New Hampshire. You wouldn't really think about it, but the Range in Mason, they have a cool little green room. It's like a whole separate cabin, stock fridge, great food. Like Nicole and the crew over there, they take care. Like that's the first place I would think of. I mean, we did something in Nashville Performing Arts Center, but we didn't really get to explore their green room because it was just a chaotic fundraiser thingy. But yeah, I mean, what's another good? Oh, we played. There's a theater in Westchester, Pennsylvania, that had a really, really nice one. But yeah, I mean, some of those old theaters, those are really kind of some of the cooler ones. Yeah, we were even at Turner Falls, Mass for New Year's Eve. That one had a nice little like. It wasn't just a green room; it was like a whole like chill area with like rooms off to the side, and they had like home cooked meals and stuff. It was really
love
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Do you have a best or worst show experience that comes to mind? Sorry about the loud snowplow.
Oh, well, last year I told people that my highlight of last year was getting a stank face from G Love. We were at a wedding that G Love was doing a solo show at, and for the last half hour, he wanted us to back him up. So we did cold beverages and just like jammed on it. And at one point, I don't remember that bass line, so I was just doing something funky. He looked back and gave me the stank face. I'm like, oh, I can die happy now. I got the stank face from G Love. So that was definitely kind of the highlight of last year for sure, and probably one of my musical highlights. Yeah, I mean, the worst show, the one that comes to mind, I thought it was the power of. I was at Trout Stock, which is a festival in Massachusetts in Worcester, put on by Leon Trout. Shameless plug. We're doing a cool show up at Stone Church on February 12th. But I had my pedal board wired wrong, so whenever the sub next to it was hitting, it was turning it off because the current was just barely hanging on when the sub wasn't hitting. I'm like, powers, and like, so I had to go direct halfway through, but it kept cutting out, and yeah, that was definitely the worst show. And then again, I felt so bad because I'm like, why is this power so bad? Like, what's the sound guy doing to me? And then I looked in afterwards and realized, like, oh. And then I saw him the next year. I'm like, oh, you know how my sound, and he didn't even remember. But I'm like, okay, well, good, because that was a piece of shit.
Man, that's well. I'm glad that you like survived that despite it being the worst.
Yeah. And then another festival, my guitar came very out of tune by putting it down wrong because I have those weird tuners at the bottom. And then I realized it, and it was a song I had a solo, so I kept playing it and tuning it while I was in the middle of playing. So that was stressful. I got it right to the right pitch right as my solo started, and I went to play. Like, please be right. It was fine. But yeah, that was the video from that's funny.
That's, oh my god, that's legendary.
But yeah, it could be worse.
Do you have a favorite venue that you've ever played?
I mean, even though it's nothing crazy, I do like that the press room has been a great spot because like I always went to so many cool shows there as a kid. We played a cool show at Virginia Beach right on the water of Virginia Beach for the Neptune Festival in September. That was cool. Just, you know, getting the ocean breeze on you, and a little bit better than Hampton Beach ocean breeze. But that was a really cool one. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of lucky to play at a lot of cool venues, so I don't have like a particular favorite. I mean, that one does stand out, the Virginia Beach one. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like, I mean, what makes a venue good is if you have a good sound guy and the sounds good. Like, that's half the battle, you know. Sometimes you go to a venue that's so good that the sound guys, you know, you've dealt with those kind of sound guys, and then the ones who are really the best are the ones who are nice and can also know their, you know, skills and can tune you in really quick.
Dude, this is a wild story from Dane from the band Volley. Shout out to Dane in the comments. He said, I broke a string on our last song playing in Japan. Thank God it was the last one because I only had one guitar. That is...
Yeah.
Oh my god, that just took the life out of me. Oh man. They didn't have a pack of Ernie balls that they could slide you or something.
I know, right?
At least it was a weird guitar string. I'm glad the rest of it went well. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to get an 8-string guitar string somewhere weird, that would probably also be pretty difficult. Like one of the low strings.
Dudes, yeah. So I do want to get into your like outside interests and stuff as well, but let's talk about that real quick. How does one get so like I've played, you know, I mentioned my prolific single power chord theory and you know, my punk rock stardom, but how does one go to 7 and 8 string guitars? What happens in life that leads you in that direction?
Well, that was probably COVID too.
So that's recent. That's that's just as of then.
Yeah, just as of 2020. I had played bass. I had played 6-string bass for a while, so I was used to the extra strings on a bass. And again, I play a lot of guitar, a lot of bass. I mean, I pretty much equal at this point because I play so many solo shows on guitar, but I play so many like in bands with bass. But yeah, my guitar teacher, David Newsom, like I was saying, I met him at like 8th grade junior sims at UNH's music school. And then he taught me at UNH. He also taught at Berkeley, or teaches at Berkeley. And he had just listed one for sale, a nylon string acoustic 8-string. This one right here. And I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to get into. So then I just kind of dove down the rabbit hole. I was working all through COVID, so I didn't really get to like sit at home and learn it, but I at least I was single, so I could, kind of delve down and really figure it out. And it's fun. I mean, a lot of the typical people who play 7 and 8-string guitars are doing like really heavy stuff because, you're down tuning and getting that low grunt out of it. But there is, a jazz world plays with it. And I'm in like a jazz trio with another extended range guitarist, Scott Solsky, who plays a 7-string guitar. So we both kind of go back and forth playing the bass and chords while the other one solos. So it's kind of a unique thing.
That's sick.
Yeah, and again, most like we are kind of like a jazz funk thing, so we'll do like some Schofield, like Badesky, Martin Wood type tunes, and then just like our drummer is awesome, Mike Walsh. He's a great drummer too. So like we have fun and we jam pretty hard.
Man, I love that. I have so many more like music questions that I could ask you that I feel like we're gonna have to kind of follow this up with a part 2. But
Yeah,
outside of music, I know you have other interests as well. And one that you share about frequently seems to be your love of cars and hill climb racing in particular. So I kind of wanted to like take a different direction and kind of learn about how you got into that and how does that influence your approach to music and art and the stuff that you do with your life now too.
Yeah, I mean that again, that kind of filled the void, especially when I wasn't doing music. I started autocrossing in 2010 when I stopped doing as much downhill mountain biking because it was kind of dangerous. I always like adrenaline of some sort, obviously. So I started autocrossing. I had like a Subaru STI hatchback back then. So, but SEC&H Sports Car Club in New Hampshire sponsors some hill climbs around the area. So for 2011, they brought back the Mount Washington hill climb with some help of Subaru and Travis Pastrana. So I'm like, oh, this would be cool. So I went and volunteered and just, sat at the mountain while cars went by. And it was just such a crazy time. And that's when I made the decision that, at some point I wanted to do that. That was kind of a bucket list item. And then I can't just, take my STI and do that. So over the years, I kind of got better at driving and started doing some track days. And then it was until 2018, I had built up, I had a BMW E30, like a 1990 BMW. That I put a roll cage in. My buddies at a shopping Hampstead Kinetic Motorsports. They helped me so much with that, and so I set it up. Did my first hill climb in 2018, and then I was hooked. It was so fun. It's what everyone wants to do. Just go full speed on a back road with like no police to pull you over. There's consequences, and so I did that for a couple of years. They had no races during COVID 2020, so I got to play a lot of music. And then 2021, the BMW wasn't working, so I raced an old Impreza that I have, my rallycross car, and then I got my M3 swapped the old BMW. And then the second race of the season, I crashed really bad because I had a part failure in May of 2022, and I broke my pelvis, my foot, 3 vertebrae, both clavicles. And I severed my urethra, which is the crazy one. So I was in, but thankfully the failure was my steering wheel hit a bump and came off in the middle of the turn. So I didn't break my wrist or anything. So while I was like in my bed, I got to play guitar a bunch, and it like got rekindled my love for guitar and got me like back into, the shape I was in as a musician, probably in my early 20s. And yeah, so then, as soon as I could drive again, I did a track day the first week that my doctor said I could drive with a cane in the back. And then the next year I started hill climbing again in 2023, and I broke all my best times. I got that neon that I have after the BMW was toast. And then, so I've been, I did every race in 2023 and every except for one in 2023, every race in 2024. Every in 2023, half of 2024 because of So, and then last year I did a few of them because of gigging and touring stuff, but I still did a few. And then yesterday I just got accepted to the Mount Washington hill climb, which is that has been my lifelong goal. So like, or 15-year goal. So I got it done. It's awesome. It's because I mean, a little of it's the comeback, and I didn't want to give up. I love doing it, and it's funny. Exactly a year to the day after I crashed was the same hill climb at the same mountain. So the Friday night I went up and I smoked something while drinking a beer and peeing on the tree to reclaim my dominance. So there's this picture of me just standing there like this. It's so hilarious. But yeah. I mean, it's so that's why I got into hill climb. It's such a cool like group of people, all like walks of life, all types of cars. Like, sometimes there's 30 people at a hill, sometimes there's 60 people. Like the Mount Washington one is the big one around here, but like we do every year. There's Mount Ascutney, Mount Philo, in Vermont, Burke Mountain, Okemo Mountain, and there's 6 or 7 races. And last year it was won by a 25-year-old kid with a 600 horsepower 6-cylinder STI. So like there's all types. Sometimes people have home built cars with weird drivetrains that they win with. So there's all kinds of cars. It's a crazy world.
That really is wild. Were you into cars as a kid, or you just kind of developed that later in life?
No, I was really into cars. When I was 6 years old, I had a car and driver subscription, and my dad will tell you that I would go around telling you the horsepower of every 80s car. Like I could tell, 5.0 Mustang was 280, whatever it was. Like I knew. I was a big nerd. I was kind of poor growing up, so I didn't have money for a nice car until I, worked at Tweeter long enough, and I got an SRT4 actually as my very first brand new car. And then now it's funny that I'm racing one. But so it's come full circle. But I've always been into cars. Yeah,
that's definitely like your destiny. I love that.
Yeah.
I know while we're on the subject of cars, Danny, you had a couple things you wanted to ask him, I think. So
I'm actually kind of curious.
Make sure I alley-oop you a bit.
Appreciate that. Actually curious because you were talking about it. You said started, autocrossing an STI, which is all-wheel drive, and then you went to a BMW, which rear-wheel drive. Now you're in SRT4, which is a front-wheel drive. Do you see yourself continuing in a front-wheel drive like class, or do you see yourself rebranching back out? Have you found a home in front-wheel drive? I mean, trust me, SRT4 4-cylinder front-wheel drive is an absolute.
Yeah.
You put the right parts down to that, and you're putting some power under that. I mean, they're good for 500 easy. So
yeah, I mean, I like front-wheel drive for hill climbs and rally. It definitely has a perk because, like, if you're cutting corners, which you're not supposed to do, so I would never do. But like things like that, you have a little extra like space. I do have an endurance E30 BMW as well that I did one hill climb with last year. So and my daily driver is a Subaru BRZ. So I still love rear wheel drive. I was out driving my BRZ in the snowstorm yesterday. So I mean,
glad to hear that.
Yeah, no, I love rear wheel drive. If I could have everything, I would have my old BMW back with that thing at 230 wheel. It was 2,600 horsepower or 2,600 pounds. Like it was just I love that car, and I had it for 10 years. So I mean, I would love to do that, but the Neon that I have has a ARA logbook rally cage, so I can take it to a rally race where there's a lot more scrutineering that's involved in just taking someone's caged car to a rally, where this I can just show them the book that it's been rallied before. So that ultimately has some advantages to me. But if money was no object, like I sold my dream car last year to kind of continue with my music thing. I had a C7 Corvette Grand Sport that I had bought brand new. And I kind of sold that just because I had some equity and I wanted to keep kind of doing what I could, and the payment, everything wasn't the best. But yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer rear wheel drive. yeah, I would prefer rear wheel drive if I could, but there's definitely some advantages to front wheel drive. Yeah, I mean, I just like driving a Subaru. You kind of have to drive it somewhat like a front wheel drive car, so I was pretty well versed in doing that. And yeah,
I had an 02 WRX that
nice bug eye. Yeah,
had some monster work done to it, so it was fun. But
yeah,
it was time to move on eventually. But
yeah, they're fun. They're fun
when
cars.
you mentioned, and then I was also curious because you did mention that you had a seasoned co-driver.
Yeah, we're she's Allison Kern. She's done Pikes Peak a few times, and she's done the rally series out. She lives out in Colorado. But one of the guys who's racing here hooked her up with me. My car, again, because it's in rally class, I figured I'd go for that class. Partly because my buddy who is in the class I normally race in always beats me. So I'm like, I don't want you to beat me this year. I want someone else to beat me. But yeah, it'll be fun because I also don't know that mountain as well. And she'll be really good at taking pace or making notes and reading notes. And you don't get as many, like, a good amount of Scutney a weekend. We get, 15 runs up the mountain. And then you get a good amount of times down. So you can, there's a bump there that I should avoid. Where this, you get 2 runs up the top half of the mountain, 2 runs up the bottom half of the mountain, and 2 runs up the whole mountain. So it's a lot less seat time. We can drive up as it's closed and just kind of loop it, but you're not really able to do stuff at speed. But by having a really good co-driver, she'll be able to, as we're driving at speed, say, I think we can take it at this speed. And, so she can take the appropriate notes. I've done a few rallies, so I'm comfortable with receiving the notes, but it'll definitely be a different thing.
That's awesome. Is that again? Do you know the dates of that?
Oh yeah, that's August 7th and 9th of Mount Washington. And again, you can show up early and you can drive all the way to the top and like hike down. A lot of people do that. There's a midway point you can go to, or you can just hang out at the bottom and watch the cars launch and like walk around the paddock and see all the cars and talk to drivers. And definitely volunteering is a cool way to get access to it. That's how I got started. And then you don't have to pay to do it. And you get a cool spot somewhere on the side of the mountain and you get fed and you get to hang out with the drivers. Like that's how I first met like Travis Pastrana and people like that, is just by, going those hill climbs. And, he's always one of the drivers. They haven't announced anything yet, but if odds are good, Vermont Sports Car is where Subaru's home is for all their cool cars and Travis Pastrana's cars. So they'll probably theoretically bring something cool out that they, either the Brat that they just had or one of their crazy cars. But yeah, he has a record. Pastrana has a record of 528 from the bottom to the top. So if you've ever driven Mount Washington, it's from the bottom house to pretty much all the way to the top is, Pastrana does 528. He averages 90 miles per hour up Mount Washington. So
that's fucking insane.
Yeah, watch the video on YouTube. You will. It's ridiculous.
I'm about to.
That's
Holy
an adrenaline
shit!
rush right there. That's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, he is the next level. Like even talking to him, he'll tell you, he's like, I can remember every bump from every like dirt bike track I raced when I was 13. Like he's next level.
Wow.
Well, our time is coming thin, so I got to ask the 2 final questions that I ask most of our guests that are in the process of doing something, and you are always doing something. And so, do you have any major goals for 2026 to like separate this year from the previous years that you're working towards?
Yeah, I mean, it almost happened last year. I mean, I would like to do something outside of America because of music. That would be cool. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but last year we almost went to Jamaica before everything happened. That would be one. I mean, I want to, just kind of build upon what I did. I mean, I don't think I can do too many more gigs and keep myself sane. I do want to release some more
200
music.
is a good number.
Yeah, that keeps me keeps me somewhat sane. But I definitely want to release more music. I'm releasing a jazz album. That's one of the things I've been wanting to do, and I want to do a more. Some of my music isn't always the most accessible, but I know I can. Like some of the Fox and Flamingo stuff is very accessible. Like I want to write some stuff not akin to Fox and Flamingos, but more accessible that I have some of my friends singing on and stuff. I've already written a few songs that are kind of in the works that aren't, they're not pop songs, but they're not songs that, are weird 8-minute jazz songs. So, or hip hop songs.
I love that. That's dope, though. I'm excited for the jazz album. I'm excited to catch you at one of your 200 gigs this year.
Oh, yeah.
So my final question before I let you go, is there a piece of advice that you could provide people that's rooted in an experience that you've lived through?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it. I mean, just if you want something, just fucking, just chase after it. Like it's life is way too short. We've all probably lost a lot of people. I've lost a lot of people. Like you never know. Like so, just go after it. Like it's probably a cliche in some degree, but I mean, it's a kind of universal truth. Like especially in the car sales world. I mean, it's probably mean to say, but I saw and talked to a lot of people who their focus was just on kind of maintaining what they wanted to do. And if it was, cooking barbecue every night or whatever, like everyone has their own interests. But if that's not your interest and you want something different, like sitting there lamenting about wanting to do it isn't going to get you there. Like doing as much as you can to get there is, and like I appreciate a lot of people say that I work hard. I always think I could be working harder. So like a lot of times when I'm sitting on my ass, I'm like, oh, I should be doing this, should be doing this. So like, I mean, again, it's just kind of your mentality. But it really is. I mean, that's just, yeah, again, it's probably a little cliche, but I mean, life is too short to just, be sedentary, like there's a lot of stuff that's out there. And yeah, I mean, and we're just a speck. So like, it's chase after where you want, whether it's a girl, whether it's, to be the best pitmaster barbecue person, whatever, like, just do what you want to do because you won't get do-overs.
I love that, dude. That makes sense. It's like, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to be an example of it. And coming back from a long hiatus and doing 200 plus shows a year and still following your dreams and still being a person of your family and all the different things that you juggle and balance in life, like you are definitely a shining example of what more people in general, not even just creative people, but what more people in general can aspire to do for themselves if they really just make the effort to learn and do the work.
Thanks,
Dude,
man.
thank you so much for making time to come and rock with us tonight. This has been dope. I really want to do a part 2 because I have so many more music questions that I want to ask you. Do you have any final plugs before I allow you back into the backstage?
Yeah, let me do a quick couple plugs.
Plug away, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, some of the cooler shows I have coming up, since we are Nashville, or you're Nashville basically. So I'm playing at Spyglass on Sunday, a little brewery that I love playing at. We're playing up in Plymouth with Roots of Creation at the Flying Monkey and at Wally's on February 7th. But don't go to Wally's, go to your show on February 7th. Warp and Left on. Oh yeah, actually no. Let's talk about the real ones. So I'm in a jazz group with Scott Solke I was talking about. We're playing at Andre's Institute of Art in Brookline, which is a cool venue, Big Bear Lodge. There's stories of Aerosmith playing there back in the 60s or something, but we're playing there 6/14 with Mike Effenberger and Chris Claxton, who are amazing jazz musicians, and we're going to jam with them. Got to sell some tickets to that. And then Cosmic Blossom, one of the other bands I'm in, Again, a great funk band, great original music. Didn't talk about them enough. Met them through some festivals. Small World. We're playing the Big Bear too on 5/9, so we got to sell some tickets to that. And yeah, that's the big stuff. I mean, again, I have my website gsmithmusic.com. That has all my dates on it, has all my bands, has all the contact info for booking. If you want to do that, I do private events and weddings. So if you want to book me for that, again, I play classical guitar, jazz guitar, and then I have a plethora of bands. I just finalized a wedding for me and my flautist friend, and we're just going to do some classical music during the reception or during the procession, and then some jazz during the reception. So I'm a chameleon, anything but country, I say.
Dude, I love that, man. It never ceases to amaze me how much variety you have in your playing and how eclectic your style of musicianship is, man. You really are inspiring. Even just me as a rapper, I aspire to work as hard as you do and make myself as active and as prolific and involved in different styles of music as you are. And dude, thank you so much for your time, man. Super appreciate you. Everybody make sure you guys go to gsmithmusic.com. Catch Gary at a show coming up. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. And dude, thank you so much for joining us, man. I will definitely see you soon. Much love.
Hell yeah, guys. Thank you.
Thank you again for it.
And huge thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. Apologies to our Facebook audience that the stream over there crashed. Appreciate everybody that jumped over to jumped over to YouTube. You guys are the best. As we tell you guys every week, we're trying to hit that 500 subscriber mark on YouTube. So we really appreciate it if you go over there. Make sure you subscribe, like to the video, drop a comment if you didn't yet. I wanted to take a moment to shout out a couple suggested podcasts as well. Firstly, some of my favorite podcasts that I feel like I want to shout out include La Chance Encounters, which is hosted by a realtor and a musician from New Hampshire. His name is Alex LaChance, and he does these really great, well-produced interviews of business figures, people from the music community, tattoo artists, all sorts of different walks of life. And he does a really good job putting out an episode and clips all the time. So make sure you guys check out LaChance Encounters. In addition to that, check out Nick Sands Presents. Not only is Nick the producer for LaChance Encounters, but he runs his own channel, Nick Sands Presents, where he does a lot of day in the life stuff. He tries out different restaurants, really cool stuff. Another great podcast called Airing of Grievances. It's these guys interview a lot of figures from New England hardcore, and they're these really great extensive interviews. The YDD Show, that's SHO. Shout out to We May Be Cousins. Shout out to Joe Grizzly. That is YDD and Showtime. That's their podcast that they do for the Coffee Network on Mondays as well. Shout out to the Right Mind Podcast. Shout out to the Wash Daily and the All In Sports Huddle. Those are just some of the friends of ours or previous guests of the program who also contribute interesting stuff to this podcast space. People love to bitch and moan about there being too many podcasts, but I find that there's a program for everything that you could possibly be interested in. It's a great way to learn more. It's a great way to enjoy things more. Sometimes you just get a good laugh or you are part of an interesting conversation. The best part about it, too, is that if nobody's covered the topic you're looking for, it's easy enough to get involved and do it on your own. So I really thank you guys so much for spending your Monday nights with me. It really means a lot. Big shout out to Danny, who's joined the program now. I'm excited to have you on board and to be able to do
Appreciate you having me, brother.
Show as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Cody Central. Episode 50 is coming up soon. Tonight was episode 48. And it's crazy to think we're almost at 50 episodes now. We have a really special night planned. We have a bunch of guests lined up. We're going to have a big panel. It's going to be a huge party. If you can hear it, my cat Ghosty is going to come and party with us that night too. Make sure you guys mark your calendars. make sure you turn on your YouTube notifications. Danny, do you have any final words before we depart?
Don't forget to check us out Wednesday night.
Check us out Wednesday nights. So if you are in the Nashua, New Hampshire area, or if you're ever interested in coming out this way, every Wednesday night, we now host Hellhound Film Club live at the Spot in downtown Nashua, New Hampshire. We do free movie screenings, so you can come in for free. We project new movies every week, and then we record a podcast immediately following the program. It's really fun. The first episode is going to come out tomorrow on our channel. We're a couple episodes deep already. The first episode is a little rough, but bear with us. The second episode gets a lot better, and then they keep getting better and better from there. So thank you guys for all the love. We appreciate all the support on Cody Central. We appreciate all the support on Hellhound Film Club. We appreciate all the support for the Hellhound Publishing Network in general. It's been a wild time building this movement, and it would mean nothing without you guys. So mark your calendars, turn on your notifications for episode 50, and we will see you next week. Much love. Preach. And hold that pose. I'm taking a picture. By I'm taking a picture, I mean sending us.
Cody Central is written and produced by Cody Pope for Hellhound Publishing. If you'd like to sponsor the program and have your brand, podcast, or service featured, learn more about that today at www.hellhoundpublishing.com/Cody-Central. Additional ways to support the program include purchasing music, joining our Patreon for exclusive content, or simply donating at any of the links available in the QR codes above.
I certainly feel sorry for you.